Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Middlesex County, where we share the latest news on events, services, and programs throughout the county. I'm your host, Middlesex County Commissioner Director Ron Rios, and I'm glad you could join me today. In this episode, we will be highlighting some fun cultural events happening in our county parks during the month of August. Today, I'm on the Plays in the Park stage here at the Stephen J. Capestro Theater in beautiful Roosevelt Park. In just a moment, we'll speak with Moggie Davis, Plays in the Park Artistic Director. But first, a little background for anyone who may not be familiar with Plays in the Park. Founded in 1963, Plays in the Park is a unique, government-sponsored outdoor amphitheater that hosts performances from June through October. Every summer, Plays in the Park presents 3 full-scale musicals. In October, the theater transforms into a black box to present an indoor children's musical. And each December, there is an annual production of Josing and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at the State Theater in New Brunswick. The pandemic forced Plays in the Park to feature virtual performances last year. Thankfully, conditions have improved enough that we can now enjoy in-person performances. And we can also get together as a community in person. So, Moggie, hello, and welcome to Spotlight on Middlesex County. Thank you for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Moggie, last summer, you had to cancel all in-person performances because of COVID-19. How does it feel to be back here, preparing to welcome everyone?
Oh gosh, it is exhilarating. It is, it's what we do, it's what we love. But I have to say, last year had some exhilarating moments for us too, even in the midst of COVID. We were all disappointed that our season had to be postponed, but we then immediately transformed ourselves from a live environment to a virtual and streamed environment, and then came up with programming that would work in that pandemic environment. So we did that Dance in the Park Masterclass series and a Sunday in the Park play reading series. And those reached thousands of people online. So we were still able to put some programming out last year. So we had exhilarating moments even in the middle of the pandemic. But of course, now, back out under the stars, there's nothing better.
There's nothing better.
Nothing better.
County residents have said that it just doesn't feel like summer without Plays in the Park. And have you seen a strong response from people who can't wait to get here and enjoy these live performances that are always, every year, every performance is just so professional, and between the musicians, the actors, the singers, I mean, it's tremendous.
Thank you. We work hard at that. And I have to say the response has been tremendous. As soon as the governor dropped some of the mandates, the phone was ringing off the hook. I had a gentleman call last week from Scarsdale. He's coming down from Scarsdale to see some of our shows this summer. Wow. So, I mean, that speaks volumes about, how far our reach is. And that's very endearing to all of us. We're very honored.
That's great. That's great. And I've heard the same thing throughout the years coming here, that people come from all over.
They do.
To see our performances. I know I've heard from people coming from Staten Island to see the performances.
It's
so let me ask you, what performances do we have planned for August?
Well, the third show of our season this summer is called Show Tune. It's a musical review that celebrates the music of Jerry Herman. So audiences will know that from Mame, Hello Dolly, La Cage aux Folles, Mac and Mabel. So it's all his music, which is wonderful. There's going to be a lot of show tunes. A lot of people know. It's going to be great.
Great. Well, this year we're going to provide the programs here for free.
Yes.
Now, do people need to get tickets, or how do they go about getting?
No, they don't need a ticket. And first of all, thank you to the commissioners for providing this entertainment for free. It's been a rough year or two, and last year we did the programming for free as well. And you all were gracious enough to make the programming again free for our audiences this summer, and that's a wonderful gift. But no one needs a ticket. The doors open at 5:30 as they always have, and folks just come on in, put their chairs down, and enjoy the show.
Yeah,
it's easy. It's very easy.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing more shows again. It's just live performances you just can't beat. It's just you get that feel, right? That personal feel that you're there, and it's just so great.
Right.
During a performance, we see the performers on stage and the musicians in the orchestra pit, but it takes a lot of people to make these shows a success. Approximately how many people work here? I mean, backstage, I mean, give our audience a little.
I would say on any particular show, there could be up to 80 folks or so working on a stage. Whether you've got 25 people in the pit, you've got 20 on tech, you've got, sometimes up to 40 in the cast. You have the staff that works here every day. It could be upwards of 80, honestly, on any given show.
Wow.
It's a lot.
And how long does it take to put a production together?
Our traditional process is about 10 weeks. About 2 weeks or so for the audition period, and then 8 weeks for the actual rehearsals. But if you really want to know, we start working on these shows, organizing them and producing them, we start the previous November. So that's when the work starts on your summer season. We start to build the set models, we confirm what the artistic staffs and creative staffs are going to be for each show. So the work starts back in November, but in terms of gathering artists to mount the production, it's about a 10-week process.
And how does Plays in the Park pick a production?
Well, you're part of this process, so you know it well. But for the folks that don't know, we put together a slate of options that we think would work well here, that our audiences would love, and that we can successfully produce, and then we send that on up to the powers that be, and you all review it and think, put your thoughts in on what you think would be best for us to do.
As the pandemic tapers down with changes or updates, will the audience notice about Plays in the Park, or will it be exactly as what it was pre-pandemic?
I think it will be mostly exactly the same as what they've known for 56 years. I think the difference going forward will be that we perhaps add streaming and virtual programming to our mix. That was very successful for us last year. And there is an audience for that. There are folks who can't get here, and perhaps we need to try and reach out to them in some different ways. So I think that would be the only difference. But
from your professional perspective, what's the best part of seeing a live performance here at Plays in the Park?
Well, honestly, for me, and I think what sets us apart from most other theaters in Middlesex County and in New Jersey, period, is that we're outside, the access to the stars. That you can sit outside under the stars and listen to a professional 25-piece orchestra and see costumes that were rented from a Broadway show. To see the production quality that we have here out under the stars, there's nothing like it. And for only $7. Yeah. $7 for adults, $5 for seniors. Kids under 12 are free. Where else can kids have access to this kind of arts programming for free? Mm-hmm. I think it's an amazing gift, and that's because of all of you. You make that decision to make it free for them.
And the veterans and the veterans, how
yes.
we recognize the veterans, which
yes.
is so important to us. We try to make every effort in everything we do here to try to recognize the veterans and yes. show them the appreciation that we have for their service to our country.
And we do call them out every single performance that we have. The first show we did this summer, back on July 2nd, was a tribute to all of the men and women in the armed forces, those who have served and those who continue to serve. That whole show was a tribute to them.
Yeah.
And it was very well received, and it was heartwarming, and it was very moving.
Touchy.
And yes, we honor those veterans every single day.
Yeah, and that's important.
Yep.
Moggie, thank you for taking the time to be with me today. I know you have a busy schedule, and I know that you and everyone here at Plays in the Park have been working hard to bring us these in-person performances, and I want you all know that we really appreciate it. I hope everyone watching has a chance to come out and enjoy a performance at Plays in the Park this month. Next up, my colleague Commissioner Charlie Tomaro, gets the inside scoop on the county's annual Music in the Park Summer Concert Series from Anthony Scally, President of American Federation of Musicians, Local 16-248. Take a look.
Middlesex County leadership recently joined Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health and the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey for the official groundbreaking of the Cancer Institute of New Jersey Jack and Cheryl Morris Cancer Center. Located in New Brunswick, it will become the state's first freestanding cancer center. The county has invested $25 million in the project and, in partnership with Robert Wood Johnson Barnabas Health and the Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey, will establish training initiatives for county residents to gain employment at the center, including an internship program for Middlesex College students. The Sayerville Pump Station, a regional wastewater facility located along Canal Road in Sayerville, officially reopened with a ribbon-cutting ceremony hosted by officials from the Middlesex County Utilities Authority and the Middlesex County Board of County Commissioners. The facility, which sustained significant damage during Superstorm Sandy in 2012, is the largest wastewater pumping station in the state, serving approximately 800,000 people from 30 municipalities across Middlesex, Somerset, and Union counties, and pumping nearly 80 million gallons of water per day. The improvements were made in part through approximately $75 million in FEMA funding and to protect the station against storms even stronger than Superstorm Sandy. As part of its inaugural business series, Middlesex County recently hosted the Leading Where We Live webinar, which featured Senator Cory Booker and Middlesex County Commissioner Chanel Scott McCollum as keynote speakers. The webinar brought business owners, entrepreneurs, and government officials together to discuss how industries have persevered and adapted to the changing landscape and made positive impacts in the community that will last far beyond the pandemic. Sandy S. Castor, Director of the Middlesex County Office of Business Engagement, moderated a panel of local business owners and directors, including Lindsay Urban, Director of the Arts Institute of Middlesex County, Vinnie Brand, owner and comedian of The Stress Factory, David Burke, owner and restaurateur from Orchard Park Restaurant, and Pamela Stefanik, Executive Director of New Brunswick City Center. As a lead-up to Middlesex County's annual Business Summit on October 21st, the county will host one additional business series event called Leading Locally in the Fourth Industrial Revolution, which will take place September 9th at Middlesex College.
Thank you, Director. I'm here at Raritan Bay Waterfront in South Amboy, the location of some of our free county sponsored Music in the Park summer concerts. This summer, Music in the Park is bringing a different band to perform every Wednesday night through August 25th. But that's not all. On Sunday evenings through August 29th, we have more music for you on the stage at the Stephen J. Capestro Theater at the Plays in the Park over in Roosevelt Park in Edison. I'm joined today by Anthony Scally. Anthony is president of Local 16-248 of the American Federation of Musicians. He represents musicians who perform at Music in the Park Summer Concert Series. Anthony, tell me a little bit about your role in Music in the Parks.
All right, as president of the union, I oversee the contract and the contracted musicians who appear at Music in the Park. We have a contractor that does specifically plays in the park, and then we have another contractor that handles all the bands. And they file all the contracts with the office, and I make sure that everyone is a union member and everything's on the up and up.
That's pretty good. I'm sure everyone that plays in the park is happy to be back performing in person again. How did the pandemic impact music in the park last year?
Well, last year the entire program was canceled due to COVID, as was most all live music in every aspect of our performance in New Jersey. So it's been a very, very difficult time for musicians. Yeah. Not only did we not get to perform publicly, but we weren't even able to, practice together for the most part. So people were without income and without what we do as a lifeblood as musicians, right, which is spend time with each other playing music.
Sure, and you know what I noticed too? There's a lot of different people doing musical performances on Zoom, and I always wondered how they would put that together and be so good at it, and just the music coming together like that. It was great. I know Bruce Springsteen did it, and I know a few of the other big bands did that.
Sure. We, as members of the American Federation of Musicians, did a phenomenal number of online performances, many of them that were funded by the Music Performance Trust Fund. And later in the pandemic, after people were vaccinated, bands were able to get together. And we filmed that live. But previous to that, there was software that let us play with each other remotely.
Right.
So everybody's technology level
together.
went up.
Yep. And Bon Jovi did it, and he's from Sayerville. So
That's
it
right.
was
He's a
great.
member of
Member.
our local.
Oh, that's great. We have a lot of great performances scheduled. Who do we have lined up in August?
In August, we have at the Krause Memorial Band on July 11th. I'm going to start a little earlier. On July 18th, this Sunday, we have Into the Woods Woodwind Trio playing classical, Broadway, pop, and jazz music. And then on August 1st, we have the Mark Heater Band. That's a concert band. It's kind of an old style band, great musicians, very well run. I would encourage everyone to hear that. As well as on August 8th, Greg Gianscoli and friends. Greg is a great marimba player, and he'll be playing American and South American music. And then one close to my heart on August 22nd, the Silk City Jazz Quartet. It says Smoking Hot Jazz. I can attest to that since I'm a member of that group.
Okay.
That group is myself on guitar, a pianist, an upright bassist, and a drummer. We came together during the pandemic. We had played together for many years in a 17-piece band as the rhythm section, and the band obviously couldn't meet. But I knew those guys were very cautious, and I invited them to the Union Hall where we have a performance space, and I put us all 12 feet apart, and we remained masked, and we started playing together last September. And we really enjoyed it. We met once a week for 3 hours, and then we did an online concert for the Union. We did another online concert for a school.
Wow.
And when Greg called me, he said, I want small groups. I said, oh, I got one for you. And then it ends on August 29th with Sandy Sasso's Swinging Big Band. Sandy is a jazz singer, and she comes and sings hits from the big band era with a 12-piece band behind her.
That's a great variety of music. And how are the bands selected?
The bands are selected by the contractor, who is Greg Gianscoli. Okay. And then he submits them to the union, and we put them in front of the executive board, and then they're approved.
Okay. And is there a performance you're especially looking forward to this year?
Yes, on August 22nd, the one I'm playing at.
Of course. And is that at Roosevelt Park? Or is
yes, where the plays in the park.
I'm going to be there because I try to get to as many as I can.
Oh, great.
During the year. I'll come up and say hello to you.
Oh, it'll be good to see you.
I know that the Raritan Bay Waterfront Park, the concerts I've heard, begin 300 plus people coming here to watch the show. So it is very popular for people, our local people, to come here and come together with families. Have a good time, sit out on the lawn, sit underneath the gazebo, and see a great concert.
No, it's such a beautiful spot. How could they not come? And the price is right.
The price is right. It's free. That's right. Well, we're going to talk about that now. For anyone who hasn't attended one of these concerts, what should they bring, and is there a cost?
There is no cost to attend, and you should just bring a chair or a blanket to be comfortable, something to drink, probably some bug spray since the concerts are in the evening, and a hat in case the sun is still out.
Yep.
And you'll be ready to go. You will not be disappointed.
Yes, that's for sure. I've attended the first one, America the Beautiful, at Plays in the Park, and it was a great show. Thank you, Anthony, for your time. I am looking forward to checking out some of the bands performing in Music in the Park this summer, especially after our conversation. And I encourage everyone at home to come check out at least one of our talented bands performing. Wednesday evenings here at Raritan Bay Waterfront Park and Sunday nights over at Roosevelt Park. You won't regret it. Back to you, Director.
Thank you, Charlie and Anthony. It sounds like we're in for some great musical performances throughout the month of August. That's all the time we have today. Once again, my thanks to Moggie Davis and everyone here at Plays in the Park. Thank you also to Commissioner Tomaro and Anthony Scally for your time. Folks, there are some great performances scheduled for this month. I hope all of you watching are able to get out to our parks and enjoy the talent and hard work of everyone who puts in so much time and effort to bring us these incredible shows. Thank you all for tuning in for this month's episode of Spotlight on Middlesex County. As always, more information about the topics we discussed today can be found on our website at www.middlesexcountynj.gov. On behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, I hope that you and your families are staying safe and healthy. Please continue to follow all safety recommendations regarding COVID-19. We'll be back next month with another episode of Spotlight on Middlesex County. See you then.
Coming soon to Spotlight on Middlesex County. We take you inside the exciting renovations underway at the State Theater, New Jersey. The theater is currently undergoing major upgrades that will bring enhanced accessibility, patron and performer comforts, and operational efficiency to the New Brunswick landmark. Middlesex County has invested $12 million into the renovation of the 100-year-old institution, and we're excited to take you behind the scenes as the theater prepares to reopen for its centennial season this fall. The theater is addressing everything from the bathrooms to the stage rigging, and we'll show you all of it on the October episode of Spotlight on Middlesex County. We hope you'll tune in.